If you're a boomer, or you're like myself and you're just entering into that boomer age, and you haven't bought or sold a house for some time, the process of buying and selling a home has evolved significantly over the past 30 years. It's been driven by technology changes, changes in regulation, and the changing market dynamics. So we're going to go through just a few of the key changes. So the first change is the role of technology. Most listings are seen online now. Buyers can browse through homes online through platforms like MLS, Realtor.ca, and Zillow, making home hunting much more accessible and your online presence essential. Homes are expected to have virtual tours, high quality photos, 3D tours, drones, and everything, allowing buyers to explore properties remotely. And if this is done well, it'll help get the buyers off the couch, over to your home to visit in person. And remember, the more people through the door means the more possible offers. Another technological change has been digital transactions. There's paperless transactions through digital signing platforms like DocuSign or DigiSign, and they speed up the paperwork process. Now, what you want to remember though is if you're uncomfortable doing this, you should be speaking to your agent that you'd like to still see hard copies and be able to sign in person. And finally, from a technological change, is all of the apps that are out there, right? There's mobile apps that provide instant alerts to people about new listings, price changes, and market trends. So buyers are able to see a home within minutes of it hitting the market. So the second big change that's happened is how we market homes. You'll see a lot of homes are now marketed on social media, on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where we are right now. And this allows to reach a far wider audience. You'll see that all of the media needs to be very professional. High quality photography, video tours, staging, all of these have become the norm to make a listing stand out online. Okay? And finally, they're able to do more target advertising now. So in the old days, you'd put it in the paper and millions of people would get the paper, but maybe only 10 of them were interested in reading it. Nowadays, we can put it on Facebook or Instagram, target market it to a certain area, a certain demographic, which allows us to really pinpoint how we're trying to sell your property. So over the past 30 years, financing has changed quite a bit as well. We want to see a pre-approval letter from a bank stating that the buyer is pre-approved for the mortgage. This shows greater seriousness. If someone's coming in to purchase your home and they're not certain they can afford it, that's a little bit of an issue. Right. Many of the new lending regulations have made it harder to qualify for mortgages, and especially for first-time home buyers. So we really want to make sure that they're able to prove that they have done some of the steps towards getting financing before putting an offer on your house. And then of course there's the buyer and seller expectation. Buyers are more informed than ever before. They're able to do their research, they can get online, they can find trends, comparable sales, all of these things before making an offer. And many buyers, because of the prices they're paying, are expecting move-in ready homes with upgrades, open floor plans, in some cases smart homes or energy efficient. So they're really looking for the finished product when they're putting out such a big dollar. Down payments are far larger now than they were in the past, mostly because of the change in pricing. So back when I bought my first house for $180,000, we put 5% down. So what's that? $9,000 or $10,000 that I needed to supply for the down payment. Now today, that same house would sell for about $1.4 million. You have to put 20% down, so that you're looking at almost $250,000. So it's a sizable difference in the amount of down payment that's now needed by a buyer to purchase a home. So there's also been a big change in the expectations of both buyers and sellers. So both buyers and sellers are far more informed. Buyers are able to research market trends, they're able to pull up the comparables of sales. Before they make an offer, they have done their homework. And because of this, buyers expect, especially with the pricing, to have homes that are more move-in ready, with more modern finishes, freshly painted, and more attractive floor plans. So the seller, their role has changed. It was where, in the old days, I've had other clients that hadn't been in the market for a while who thought, well, we don't have to do that much to get the house ready for sale. But no, you really do. You need to declutter, you need to stage the house a little bit, fresh paint. All these little things are going to make a big difference in making your house stand out. So with all of these changes, the role of the realtor has changed a bit too. It's more expertise over access now. With everything being online and available to everyone, the realtor's role has shifted from being able to provide information to now being a negotiator, a market analyst, and being able to give personal advice to help their client out. And what you want to do is check their certifications. So many realtors now hold specialized certifications in things such as luxury homes, negotiations, and senior downsizing. So check to make sure that they're keeping up their education. So some of the legal and ethical changes have been disclosure requirements. The sellers must disclose things about the property's condition, where there's strict rules in place to protect buyers. Buyers are now more than ever getting home inspections. You know, again, when I bought my first house for $180,000, we weren't so worried about there being one or two things that were wrong. Buying that house at $1.4 million and having put $300,000 down, now I expect it to be pretty darn perfect. And finally, global and local influences. Increased foreign investment has impacted the markets, especially in many of the high demand areas. So that's one of the things that is factored in and brought up prices. The other is the ability to work remotely. So the rise of the remote work has shifted buyers' preferences, and many of them are seeking homes in the suburbs or rural areas now. With so many changes in the market since the last time you probably bought or sold, you want to make sure that you have an experienced agent that can guide you and take the time to walk you through the process. With the right person beside you, the buying and selling process in this market can be exciting and a wonderful experience.